Hello. I hope this message finds you before it's too late. It's of great urgency, and it needs to get out. And what I'm going to ask you to do is very brave. There's a time coming where this message I'm about to share with you is going to be stopped from going out. The time is right around the corner. It's approaching quickly. And I need all of you who see this to promise that you will share it with as many people as you can, because time is short. I'm going to give you the encrypted message now. Please don't let it be in vain. The message is Romans 10:9-10. If you declare with your mouth Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. For it is with your heart that you believe and are justified, and it is with your mouth that you profess your faith and are saved. Please get this message out to everyone. Thank you.
And welcome to Proverbs Guys Ministries. I am your lesser host, and we also have your better host, Achilles, with us. Achilles, how are you today?
Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm good.
I'd like to start today off by telling you a little joke, Achilles. Are you in for it?
Let me sit down.
All right, so there's two guys, and they're talking with God. And the first guy says, "Man, you guys aren't going to believe this, but my son traveled to Israel last week, and they threw rocks at him." And the second guy says, "Well, all right, my son traveled to Israel a month ago, and they held him down and started hitting him with sticks." And then God said, "You guys aren't going to believe this."
And he, what, stops there?
That's it. Yeah, because he had the war story about when his son went to Israel.
Okay. Yeah, all right, yes. I thought these guys knew about that, but no, okay. No.
Well, it's too late now. All I can do.
We need to add the laughter too.
Since Achilles didn't get it.
We need to add the laughter for, when we have people here telling us that Mary needs to be worshipped. We need to have something other than this. I gotta have audio for it too.
We could get a picture. I couldn't do it. I don't have the editing skills, but you do. You could find a good quality image of a Mary statue and have her like bending her head like at a raver, kind of getting it with the music.
Okay. So everybody, again, this is an completely unscheduled show. We're just a little bit backstage talking about what Trump did again under the nose of American people who voted for him to fix stuff.
Oh boy, we're getting right into that, huh?
And we were like, let's just go live, talk about it. We made a quick thumbnail, Steven did. Nostalgic too, VHS tapes. For those, I guess a lot of people don't even know what that is. For those that remember children that are grown up to within the internet and they have an opinion about stuff and they don't even know like where that stuff came from. Like, I was watching a video the other day, how many people crash on stream because the new thing is to have your looking at your phone while streaming live while you're driving.
which is really just a terrible idea.
It's so smart. You know.
Check this out, Achilles. I don't know if you're aware of this. This is live updates from CNN 30 minutes ago. Washington, D.C. shooter leaves 2 National Guardsmen shot. Near the White House. Dude,
Wow.
this happened near the White House.
The only way I could see something like, we'll get to the next, why those towers are not falling. We'll get that. But the only way I could imagine this happening in Washington, D.C. is with a 3D printed gun. Like, how can you get a normal gun in D.C. around the White House?
I don't want to say it myself, but it's 3 letters.
ICE?
No.
Oh, you can switch those letters around and get the C first,
Uh-huh.
the I next,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah. So that's the only way.
And man, it's so unnerving. I don't even know if that's a word. I think it is a word. That people are getting played so bad, and yet they support him. Not just him, the previous one and the next one. All right, it's not just him. There's no specific hatred about this one, but because people are kind of idolizing him, that's why we're attacking him more. So you guys realize that there's no trillionaire out there that is your friend. Can you please bring up? Yeah, okay. Before you go from here, let's scroll a little bit to this tragedy that is taking place right now in Hong Kong.
This one's going to open up a bigger can of worms.
We definitely need to be praying for these people. There are people still stuck in this complex.
And it's still on fire, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Golly, no.
I think I'm seeing things that fit in the end times, and a lot of people just are programmed to take them for granted. We've never seen anything like this in the past, and we're like, you know, it's not happening in my neighborhood.
And this is happening right now. This tragedy. So far 36 dead, but it's still on fire, and almost 300 people have been reported missing. And there's a really good chance that they're not going to be found. So this is devastating.
Yep.
Now, one thing I guess we can go ahead and say is I immediately had a thought come to my mind, and you had the same thought come to your mind. And that is, these towers are on fire. It's obviously very hot. You can see it. And the towers have not collapsed.
And it's not one floor, a high floor that is on fire. It's the whole thing.
The whole building. And this has been going on for 8 hours. 8+ hours. It's been burning. And the towers are still standing.
I don't think you were around when I was on some show and I was discussing this hypocrisy that exists in the US.
Mm-hmm.
That okay, first off, the way my brain got there is I just thought of the phrase never forget. But it was only about Tower 1 and Tower 2. Never forget. But when it comes to Tower 7, forget. Everybody forget that one. Right? Because that's what messed everything up. I mean, we could fall for it. Like, oh, it was made like the construction the steel beams. It was all steel beams, and they melt, and then they carried the whole thing. Okay, what about Tower 7? Wasn't even touched by an airplane.
You know what? To me, the biggest smoking gun was the Pentagon. Seeing the way they claimed the plane hit the Pentagon, no
Yeah,
plane debris anywhere,
yeah.
perfect explosions on both sides, no wing damage, like 100%. Even if the towers and everything else was true, the Pentagon was a totally different story.
I
Never
just love that
forget. Forget.
And the airplane that was supposedly heading for Tower 7, not supposedly, uh, neither allegedly, it was heading for Tower 7. Heroes broke in and took control of the airplane. They kicked the butts of the pilots, and the airplane crashed outside DC. Do you remember that?
Yep.
And made a crater on the ground. So the aviation companies now, they've made the doors in every airplane completely unhackable. Like, you can no longer get in. It needs a password, and the password needs to be accepted from within. Like, okay, I get it. It's for terrorists. But what if the terrorists have the airplane? I mean, we have one case where some American hero, army salute and standing ovation to that man. He stormed in, kicked their butts together with I don't know how many, and they crashed the airplane, taking their lives in the process. That's a hero. But for that to happen, they somehow gained access to the door. Now it's no longer possible. Now you just sit on the back and wait. There's nothing you can do. At least back then, you could do something about it.
Yeah.
So,
Oh.
so one thing I was discussing with somewhere, I don't remember where it was. I think it's GG, so I'm not sure. That how hypocritical is it that the never forget lasts 20 years? Because 20, okay, not 20, 25 years. Because 25 years later, New York now has a Muslim president, mayor, who has been asked 3 times if he condemns Al Qaeda, and he never said yes. It's not just once. It's 3 interviews that they've asked him about Al Qaeda, and he doesn't condemn its actions. The reason for that being is that he's a Muslim that believes in world jihad and all that. So the never forget lasts like 25 years. So it should be like, don't forget for 25 years. You can forget after 25 years. How, how hypocritical is that, man? And how gullible are people these days?
Well, okay, so it used to be a memorial. Never forget the memorial of what happened. And Americans still agree with that sentiment. But now, with the age of technology and it turning into what it has, you really need Americans to forget, because if they really did investigation, they would find out that that was one big false flag. And that may lead them into digging back into World War II and figuring out that Pearl Harbor was also allowed. And you don't really want to see how dirty your fingernails are of your government.
And I can't forget the blessing I had when I was studying in the US. I had an American professor on American history, and I have the book right here. Thank God I picked up that book and I didn't, because as a college student, you have this tendency to sell your books used so you can buy the next ones.
Yep.
I didn't do this for American history. I'm so happy for that, and I have that book. because I could never find that book again here. So he said that there is the class was on the Mexican War. American blood was shed on American soil. The whole thing with the river that started the Mexican War and gave you California and Texas, and the Alamo happened and all that. The whole thing was a false flag. And he told me that there is not a single war in the history of the US that was on a true purpose, that it wasn't a false flag. And because it was 2005, I said, what about Iraq? And he said, well, I didn't say it, you did. And that matters because that is a statement from an American professor on an American university on the class of American history. It's not hatred. It's just how it is. It's the truth. And right now, guys, you like it or not, you're going into a new one. With supposedly the drug cartel of Venezuela, which the drugs are not coming from there. They're coming from Ecuador, they're coming from Colombia, but not Venezuela. But Venezuela has the oil and the gold. Well, we get some water here. Yeah, no. Bad guy. This Maduro guy, very bad guy.
And one of the worst parts of that is we entered Iraq under a false flag, and it messed up a lot of our guys. Like my brother went over there twice, and he is just mentally jacked up, like up and down.
Yeah.
And it for what? Because we didn't even get the oil for ourselves. We literally went to war with Iraq to prevent Russia from getting more oil, to limit them.
Yeah.
The whole war is over limiting Russia's oil supply.
Yeah, I want people to remember that about everything, especially what is happening right now with Russia. Your news are very one-sided, and they agree on that one side. They all agree that Russia is the aggressor. That is not the way it is. We, and I'll put myself there too, as a Western civilization, we have been poking this bear from every side. We've never stopped poking it. Right?
Well, I mean, and I don't really want to take us down the road of talking about Ukraine, but if you remember, we made a promise to Russia that we would never include Ukraine into NATO.
And that's the whole thing. That's what it is.
We promised that we would never expand them into NATO.
Yeah.
But we also promised that if any member of NATO went to war, all other members of NATO would also declare war. And it's interesting that even though Ukraine is a member of NATO, we haven't seen that. It isn't? It didn't get approved?
No, the thing is that in 2014, there was a coup. They locked down the building of the government, and they light it on fire, and they burned all the people in the government, and then they took over the government and turned it pro-European and entered Europe. And the next step was to enter NATO.
So I guess this was Putin's attempt at stopping it.
Yeah.
Man.
And everybody, I know there are people out there that are going to write in the chat, no, that's not how it is. The thing is just, I mean, if you have somebody who has studied something and he disagrees with somebody who hasn't studied that something, or he's afraid to study it, guess who's right? It's beyond argument. And when you have a country that has started 50 wars on false premises, why do you think this is different? That's the big question here. Like, chill, guys. It's the same old, different SSDD, or should I say SSDP, different president.
And
That's
look,
all it is.
we're not trying to get personal. We're not trying to talk about anybody's favorite candidate. We're not trying to pollute the well.
I got it. Right. But
I mean, sometimes you have to stop and question, and you have to be, why did this figure come out of nowhere around 2016 after the time FBI had already started investigating Epstein and put on a fight for his life to become president, which comes with certain perks like presidential pardons, which you can present to yourself.
are you still talking about that creep, that Epstein guy? Who is that guy? He's a creep.
Isn't this old news, Achilles?
The latest thing that I've heard about this is that the Supreme Judge, what's her name? The blonde.
I don't know who you're
Ah,
talking about.
Supreme Judge, I think is her position, who was promising to lay out the files. Now she's saying that it's a matter of national security, why some names will not be revealed. So I found a funny meme, and I'm scrolling in Reddit to find it again. By the way, if you guys are on Reddit, check out r/conspiracy, and just up there. I mean, you might be able to find some stuff that are just nuts, but overall, it is American people that are waking up to the American issue that they're dealing with. So,
Oh, yeah. And we full on know that we are never going to see the Epstein files.
and it's a good place to find some news, because you don't get them in the news. So it's a recommendation from me. I'm regularly checking it out. So I can find the meme. I'm scrolling down, and there are some new things that have taken over, like the whole AI, um, new presidential executive order. So I'm pretty sure you've seen this. I found at least a picture that I could share here. Um, Wait, what? Oh, I was in another browser. Darn it. All right, I'll share the screen. So first off, now did you put it up?
Let me get back to it. There you go.
So although it doesn't give me the comment here, oh, here it is. It says, this is what the elites and our government fears the most. All right, so you see that picture?
Oh, yeah.
So those that are talking about this issue here, the right is trying to present it like it is a left thing, but it's not, because the left are also implicated in this story. The Queen, too, kings, princes, Prince Andrew, Prince, I remember his name, from Greece, one of the two sons of the ex-king of Greece, and all the billionaires that you know. So it's not a left versus right thing. So
Everyone's on it.
yeah, and we had that meme here saying everyone. So I'm looking for that meme and I can't
And
find it.
that's the thing. The Democrat base is pushing because They think all the Republicans are on the list. And the Republicans are pushing for the Epstein list to be released because they just know all the Democrats are on the list. But in reality, you're never going to see the Epstein files because all of them are on the list. Everybody is on the list. All your favorite presidents, all your senators, all your congressmen, all your governors, all your FBI directors, they're all on it.
And the only thing sad about it is you having a hard time believing it, because you have such high hope in some presidents that, you know, it's like your hope dies. I mean, who told you to have hope in a billionaire? I mean, isn't that your fault?
A little bit.
I can't find the meme that I'm looking for. So there was this, it was a goose asking somebody, why is releasing the names a matter of national security? And that guy, next picture, is running away, and the goose is running after him, and it's repeating, why is releasing the names a matter of national security? I can't find it.
But I mean, that's a good question, though, right? Like, why
Right.
is it?
And it is official. She said that. What's her name? I saw her around here. I hear it. Pam Bondi, right? Isn't she Supreme Judge?
Yeah.
And it's funny how the other guy, Patel, whatever his name is, his eyes didn't look like that before becoming head of the FBI. But when he did, his eyes turned like, oh shit. I mean, I guess if we see the list, our eyes are gonna turn like Patel's. I'm pretty sure.
And did you see that interview with Theo on the Joe Rogan podcast?
I don't like Joe Rogan.
You're not gonna like him after this. Like, Theo Vaughn really threw out some good stuff, and you can see. I'll share just a little bit of it with you, but you can see how he desperately does not want to answer these things.
There's photos of Nancy Pelosi with JFK.
That was before Israel didn't kill him.
You think so?
That's
I
Joe
didn't say
Rogan
anything.
and Vaughn.
Yeah,
How
man.
much longer does Israel let us stay alive, do you think? That's the big
What?
question.
Why were they?
What did you say? Is that AI?
What are you saying?
That's Sora?
What are you saying?
I didn't say anything.
What are you-
Well, sketchy times. You mean the same company, that company Palantir, that was doing all that
Oh,
crazy
full
stuff
screen.
in Gaza,
Yeah.
in Gaza, and they were like, you know, the own.
What, Achilles?
Press the full screen on the video. It maximizes it on the share. What?
It makes it smaller. I don't know why. I don't know why it does that now, but it does.
It looks like a cell phone tilt. You're not from the phone, are you?
No, that's the bizarre part.
All right, put it back. I guess it was better.
Yeah, it was bigger.
Yep.
Crazy, right?
Doesn't
Well,
happen when I'm doing it, right?
If you pay attention, every time Theo Vaughn brings up Israel or Gaza or the Epstein files or CIA, Rogan shuts it down like he's had one of those late night visits.
Looking down and everything.
Dude, just watch. He's been compromised.
What
running
were
all
they
the,
doing?
all the drones and stuff like this.
Okay, so you mean like facial recognition data?
Right.
Do they have that capability with drones, where they could just zoom around? Listen.
Okay. Sorry.
You're right. However, China's making drones.
Theo Vaughn has officially wandered off the reservation, and Joe Rogan is not loving it. This latest episode of the JRE didn't feel like a conversation between two comedians. It felt like Theo was trying to talk about the powers that be, while Joe was desperately trying to keep everything inside Peter Thiel's Spotify approved category. And honestly, if there's one thing this interview reminded us, it's that Joe Rogan is fully compromised. For years, fans have watched the shift happen. He used to be the guy who would question everything, but now Joe's as mainstream as CNN. This isn't Joe playing dumb so he can keep huffing smelling salts and doing his stool routine at the comedy mothership. This is Joe protecting the narrative. Anytime someone brings up Peter Thiel, Joe immediately jumps to defend him and pivots to blaming Russia or China. Epstein, Joe won't touch it anymore. Instead, he throws out the safest, most sanitized talking points imaginable. Meanwhile, Theo's out here pouring out his heart.
Like now, there's a lot of like billionaire files that our government protects and stuff. But back then,
You really think so?
I don't know.
I don't know either. That's what makes me nervous. I don't know.
I mean, they just had that thing that came out about the Trump Epstein thing the other day. That whole thing's just a kickball at this point, I feel like.
Bro, have you ever seen that video of me and Tim Dillon?
That's basically how this entire podcast
How's the weather, man? You should check out the weather. I mean, it's about to rain. Yeah, I don't like Joe Rogan, and I didn't thank that guy for exposing this. But if anybody out there thought that Joe Rogan was on your side, man, what do I do? Where do we start with you?
Well, I think that's why Americans don't want to believe it, because once it's confirmed that the right and the left are both wicked and they're both out for you, then where do you flee for safety?
What are you left with?
Right.
And the answer is way simpler than they think. You are left with the only book that told you that, and told you that this world is just going to perish, and you better start reading it.
But they don't want their hope from God.
Yeah,
anywhere but God.
I think that's where you start. When you realize that there is no man you can hope in, you either become desperate or you start researching whether you have been wrong on your certainty that there is no God. Because if there is a God, this is what he told us that is going to happen. And watching the world collapse, even if it's your government that is to blame, is different than taking part in it and hoping it will stop. So there is no fixing this. The only thing that is going to happen is this person is coming up who's going to fix a lot of stuff. He's going to bring peace. He's going to make people love each other. He's going to ask for a couple of things of you. And he's the Antichrist. So they're all actors on a stage. When they go off the stage, they do things that get classified in files. But when they're on stage, they're pretending that they're different to get your vote, and they just keep going. There are no two sides anymore. There's just one, and it's the agenda. The agenda is run by money. I mean, where do you start? It's not just the wars. Plastic, the nuclear energy of the nuclear wastes from Fukushima. They're still in the Pacific Ocean. They're all over the place. We're eating it. There's nothing we can do to stop it. The AI. Oh, okay. I think now is a good time to show them what, those that don't know, what the new executive order that Trump signed.
Do you have it?
No, okay, just bring it up.
This one actually scares me.
I don't think I can get more official than the WhiteHouse.gov. I mean, please don't tell me you think this is propaganda from that website. All right. So, in case you guys didn't notice, you paid 15% more this year for your Thanksgiving table. Yet, the AI is getting the year of their lifetimes. This new legislation comes in, and it doesn't come in democratically. Nobody can outvote this. So it was an executive order, And what is very annoying and understandable from those that now see the agenda and they see what they are, for me, it's absolutely understandable why he named it Genesis. Because you would think naming an AI initiative Genesis is a bit like the Terminator movie, but that's you. Like the Trump administration hasn't watched that movie, so they didn't know that, right? So with this, you can no longer legislate against AI. Um, they're going to create huge data centers, which they've begun already. Like they were not waiting for the executive order; they knew it. That's why you see Jensen and Bezos and Zuckerberg in the inauguration. In an inauguration where the American president didn't have his hand on the Bible when he was taking an oath, his wife was wearing this dark hat that you couldn't even see her, and he did not swear on the Bible, but he got in position from the Christians. So whose fault is this? Is it his fault? That I didn't see anybody talking about the fact that he didn't swear on the Bible. He just had his hand in the air, but his other hand was not on the Bible. So here's what's going to happen with this AI executive order. By next year, your electricity bill will be close to double because they need your energy to feed the AI centers that they are creating. This is a problem that the whole world is facing because so far there were legislations that were not allowing this to happen in the US. Amen. Amen, Joseph. That's
So
Joseph.
they're going to double our electric bills by next summer.
And water bills. Because AI data centers require a lot of cooling.
Why
Have you
don't they
seen?
just start drilling in Alaska? We have an oil reserve in Alaska that could run the entire country for 50 years.
Yeah, I think that's why they call it a reserve, because you're holding on to it.
Yeah, but we
Right.
have reserves in Alaska. That's just one of our reserves in Alaska alone.
I don't know, man. I know that they're not our friends. Like what you would think that makes sense, they're just not doing it, and it's not that government only; it's worldwide.
So they're
It's
going to jack up our bills to run this new AI center. And what is the AI center going to be doing?
Wait a minute. You said center. It's like you think it's gonna be one, right?
Plural. Okay,
Yeah,
centers.
yeah.
Terrific.
So far they are located in Latin America. Mexico is already rioting about the fact that they don't have any water because it sucks. What they do is you're not allowed to go in. So they drill deep underground, like 1,000 feet underground, and they start taking the water from the earth. So what you start seeing is the lakes evaporating. Like they get the water from underneath the lakes. So all the streams that are bringing water up, they stop bringing water. So people in Mexico have been suspecting who is to blame. They've asked for permissions to go in, and they're not allowing people to go in. You can't get in an AI installation for safety reasons.
Hmm.
The reason they need the water is because the energy being used is so big that you have to water cool it. My computer here is water cooled, but my computer is on a closed loop. so I never renew the liquid. But they need an open loop, so they don't have um, stuff growing inside the pipes and corrosion and all that. So it needs clear water. It can't be salt water. It has to be clear water. So if that government was not promising to fix a lot of problems that the average American citizen is facing, I wouldn't mind it that much. But the thing is that that's how he got up there. Like, he's gonna fix so many issues, and he's making everything worse. Like, if you can't pay your bills this year, wait to see 2026.
Well, we're already in a secret recession, but if we keep up at the rate we're going before the next election or just after the next presidential election, we will be in a full-fledged depression.
And I guess by that time you're gonna have that Venezuela thing going, because war gets you out of recession.
Exactly. Well, why do you think they're doing so much provoking right now? We need a war to stimulate our economy.
Um, yeah, and it's not the first one. He already has signed an executive order in January, then in April, then in July. I think in July we complained about it. I remember me complaining, but I don't remember if it was April or July. But now this one is like the final straw. This is the big one, and he calls it the Genesis mission. So I actually don't think that AI will ever take over. I don't think that, but I do think that normal I, normal intelligence, evil intelligence, EI, is going to use AI to fully track you wherever you are. I was talking with a friend the other day, and I mentioned this term, and I wonder if you've heard of it. Man, wait a minute, I remember the name. Fog clearing.
Fog clearing?
Yep.
No, I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah, just give me a minute. Just give me a minute to go to my. No, I lost an email I was writing. Darn it.
Oh, Achilles, you had 5 jobs.
So it could be this one. Fog reveal. Have you ever heard of the term fog reveal?
I haven't.
So our governments, especially your government, because at least yours has been exposed, mine has not been exposed about it yet. So for now, we know that your government has it. There are some private companies out there that they have developed algorithms where they draw a circle or a square on any given map, and any cell phone that gets into that map, into that square, is then tracked wherever it goes all over the planet. So if there was some riot that you went to, oh man, don't do this. Wait.
Achilles, I have to.
Ah, poor baby.
Because it exposes you. Because you said that this was not an Orthodox thing. You said it was one particular priest. And then, lo and behold, I was minding my own business, scrolling through YouTube the other day, and I found a second priest drowning babies.
Okay, let's go. Remind me to go back to the fog reveal, because for those that don't
Go
know
over
it,
the fog review now.
I want to see I actually think it's the same priest now that I
Is
see him.
is it? Because this is different babies.
That's definitely, look at that baby, man.
That baby is
What
hating that baptism.
what did he just do to me?
This one he just dunks water on.
Blah, 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 blah.
Oh man. All right, so what is the fog reveal?
So your phone has some apps that they
Yeah.
innocently ask you, "Hey, do you mind if we access your location just so we can give you our services?" And everybody's like, "Sure, I got nothing high," right?
I make
So
them work for it.
so the good. The if you Google or YouTube the term fog reveal, you're going to discover that there are some companies that have developed an algorithm which they sell to American agencies, where they can draw a square somewhere. let's say let's say the square is downtown of your town,
Hmm.
and you happen to pass by that square. um, your phone gets recorded within that square of interest, and then it's getting tracked all over the planet. So when there is a riot on the US, they draw this square all over the area, and whoever gets to the riot, even if they went through the riot to go shop, your phone is now in the list. And they are bypassing the Fourth Amendment because you concede to a private company to have that data given, and it's not your job to know whether that company is going to give it back to the state. You see how smart that is?
Hmm.
They no longer need a warrant for the legitimate searches that the Fourth Amendment is talking about, because you consent to it, to a private company, so you can have like Google Maps on your phone.
Yep.
And
Giving
then
you
that
to him.
and that private company doesn't have to ask you whether it's selling that to the United States government, and the United States government says, "I didn't get it from you," you know. So they bypass the Fourth Amendment that way, and there have been 5 to 7 cases in the U.S. already where the feds have broken in homes with how do you call that, battering rams,
Yeah.
for people that are completely innocent. And the judge had a real hard time fighting the state. So take that and add lifting all restrictions to AI to see where this is going and how AI is going to be used about tracking everything. There is another company in the US that is installing AI traffic cameras where they're tracking your license plate.
The tag readers.
Yep. No, license plate readers. The company has a name, I don't remember it, but what it does too is it's selling those assets to the government. So the government is like non-guilty of doing it. They're buying it again. They're buying it with your taxpayers' money, the same taxpayers' money that are funding AI, the same money that are not enough to buy food anymore. And here comes a president that says because China is building drones and they're going ahead on the AI thing, I'm gonna have to bypass every constitutional law and track every single one of you. So yeah, I mean, gotta love him. No other American president has sped up the surveillance state as much as this guy with his supposed allegedly dead friend.
Yeah, well, there's been a lot of videos over the past few days of people going to the Epstein Island, and it has FBI agents all over it, like they're guarding it. So I wonder who they're protecting there.
Right.
I think someone got a life sentence to a private island.
Yeah, we saw the picture here from a drone, which I have to admit it could be faked, but you can fake the picture of the official picture that they released about the body when they were taking the body out of the prison cell. So people compared his face and the nose, like, okay, hold this, like how you have it right now there, okay?
Yeah.
Let me show you a picture of the dead Epstein.
Oh,
And
boy.
you tell me if that's the same nose.
And that begs the question of who the picture of the dead guy is.
It could be a wax body for all I know, just faking it completely. Oh man, where is it? Is it censored? I found one, but it doesn't show the nose. There is a conveniently a hand over it.
No way. You
Yeah,
don't
right.
say.
Yeah, I can't seem to find it, but but again, a lot of people have done that comparison. The nose is not the same. The ears are not the same. It's not the same guy. Period. So allegedly he's dead. So you can stop talking about it, guys. Stop talking
And
about
and now his longtime girlfriend is in a minimum security prison. And by the way, what is she in prison for, Achilles?
it. Yeah, if he didn't do it, if he's innocent, why is
Uh,
she in jail for?
If there's no incriminating evidence in the Epstein files, why is she in prison at all?
I love the statement she gave out before getting transferred to a minimal security prison. Wing, wing.
Trump never acted inappropriately in any way,
Right,
ever.
right. But who says you? Like, what are your standards exactly? Because you've been Epstein's girlfriend.
Right.
So,
Like what do you consider inappropriate?
right. And in this video here, they're actually talking about a woman telling Epstein she's hot, and he agrees. I've done some lip reading. No, there was audio, I remember. When I first saw this, there's audio. If you press play, he actually says, she's hot.
Oh yeah, yeah, they're talking about a girl. And Charles, one of the founding fathers, said that anyone who would trade privacy for a false sense of security deserves neither.
Yep.
You can't gain security by giving up privacy. That concept, it doesn't exist. It's a foreign concept that's foreign to the entire world. It's an alien concept, and it's never been the American ideology. We value privacy above everything. Benjamin Franklin. Thank you, Joseph.
And while you guys, please stick to comments for a sec, because I wanna find a clip to share. I remember it's in one of my videos, but I'm not sure which one that is. I'm gonna have to do a bit of digging.
Now, Joseph did bring up a fair point earlier. He said that this isn't really new. He said the Patriot Act did a lot of violation of rights, and he's right. First, you have Bush with the Patriot Act. Then you have Obama with the NDAA, which gave American presidents the legal authority to conduct drone strikes on Americans on American soil. And now you have this AI Act.
And brother Joseph, when I made it to the US in 2005, I was asked to do a paper, an introductory paper of thoughts like I have, so they know, what I'm about. So I made a 20-page paper on the Patriot Act in 2005 and how ridiculous it is and how this world's turning into shit and all that. So I have to tell you, they didn't like me much because that was also 2005 and you couldn't just go against what the government did at the time because everybody was so scared of the evil terrorists,
I guess the company's called Flock Security. More like Flock Privacy.
So I'm still looking, and it looks like it's not in the video I thought it would be. That's sad. That's very sad.
Are
I'm
you
gonna
that
find.
shocked?
I'm gonna find that clip. I'm gonna share it at some point when I do find it. I'm gonna look for it at another time because it was a video. It was a documentary made back in 2006 or seven, and it was saying how these are the actions that Adolf did, not the AI thing. We surpassed him now. But it was saying that the government is a snake and the citizens are a porcupine. So the reason we have all this legislation is to protect us from the government. If we don't have those thorns, the government is going to bite because the founding fathers knew that. They weren't born yesterday. They came from Europe, They knew. They didn't come from Europe, but the whole thing, they had seen how governments worked in the past. So what Adolf did is that he slowly stripped off the citizens from their rights. So when he decided to go against the whole world, those that didn't like that, they had no rights they could use to stop him. So I'm not saying you're going to be the new Germany. No. I mean, maybe you are already, but I think now it's a worldwide thing. It's Europe is involved as well. I mean, I'm gonna give Trump, so you don't think I hate him. I'm gonna give him some credit, and I'm gonna say that the recent peace agreement that he proposed concerning Russia, it would pass. Russia accepted it immediately. It is everything that one had to do to end the war. But Europe stepped in and it ain't gonna happen. So my actual take is that he knew that was about to happen, so he just pretended to be the good side. But if you read those 28 points, this is what needed to be done for that war to end. These are the problems. And he addressed them all in a manner that is respectful to the offended, which is Russia. She's not the offender. And Europe is stepping in. So I'm trying to say that I'm seeing the same World War II period, but this time is not just one country. This is all the Western civilization right now. Like if you start looking at what has happened in Africa, what keeps happening in Africa, like it has never stopped. What stopped was, the facade. Like, it was just this one bad guy. His name was Adolf. Yeah, right. Like this is how it works, right? Like right now, whatever happened 4 years ago, it was no deep state. It was just silly Joe, right? I mean, people were a little more naive about stuff like that 70 years ago. All right.
You have a question, Achilles.
I'm coming back because I was away. Let me read. New fellow Greeks care as much about. Here's the thing. Yes, because they affect the whole world, but not many Greeks are as friendly with Americans and can empathize with Americans as much as I do. They discredit them as too dumb to talk about.
That's so crazy because we didn't feel too dumb when we gave Greece that money for their bailout several years ago.
I don't think you did. The IMF did, and you owe like trillions to the IMF as well.
Yep.
I think you gave the money. I mean, it's why do we all owe the IMF money? Like, who are you, IMF? Are you aliens? Are you like from some other world and every country on this earth?
Because it seems like we could just let me choose my words wisely. It seems like we could just dissolve that entity and everyone would be out of debt.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's where we all owe money to that IMF. I mean, it's not
The entire world, I think, is $64 trillion in debt. But to who?
to IMF. It's like a pimp, you know. It's like the world. No, I don't think the term is pimp. Wait. What is the term for somebody that loans you money but asks for like extreme
A loan shark.
loan sharks? Yep.
Yeah, but my question is, okay, so with the loan shark, you start off with money to lend. But in this case, where the heck did that company get their money to lend everyone?
Yeah, it's like a theory. Like we have them. I don't get it either. I know that it's funny that you mentioned this, that we got into this IMF because the video that I was scrolling through, I think it was. So okay, no, I'm not gonna find it in my video. Wait, Lagarde. Let me show you a very interesting speech that the IMF. Here it is. Okay, so I'm gonna bring it because at least don't you suspect or suppose wait, why doesn't man silly Windows, they have this bug at some point, the copy paste stops working, and that was one of those moments. don't you suppose that at least what they rely on mathematics, and their math is maybe too complicated. We don't, we can't get it. They're too smart for us, right? So back in 2014, she gave a speech. Wait a minute. I don't know what this is. You sent something.
Yeah, I sent you a link about the IMF and how they function.
So let me share this now. And tell me if there's echo.
I don't hear an echo.
Yeah, because it's muted. Tell me now. Echo.
No.
Echo. No? Okay. So she gave this speech back in 2014, and I want you to tell me if that sounds like a mathematician. She's the leader of the IMF, and every 4 years they vote her again for president of the IMF. Like, she's that good, dude. She's like super good. They keep voting again and again the same person all over the place. She's the leader of the IMF. Leader, president, I don't know. I just want you to tell me if she sounds more like somebody that came out of a university or somebody that came out of a witchcraft classroom. All right? Here, check this out.
Let me first of all, of course, begin by wishing you.
How's the audio?
It's good.
Now, let me first of all, of course, begin by wishing you all a Happy New Year. I guess it's still time to do that, given that we are just exactly halfway through between our Western New Year and the Lunar New Year, which will loom in a few weeks' time. I think it's also appropriate to wish ourselves a Happy New Year, given what I would like to talk to you about, which has to do with the global economy and what we should expect for 2014. Now, I'm going to test you numerology skills by asking you to think about the magic 7. Okay? Most of you will know that 7 is quite a number in all sorts of themes, religions, and I'm sure that you can compress numbers as well. So, if we think about 2014, all right, I'm just giving you 2014, you drop the 0, 14, 2 times 7. Okay, that's just by way of example, and we're going to carry on. So 2014 will be a milestone and hopefully a magic year in many respects. It will mark the 100th anniversary of the First World War back in 1914. It will mark the 70th anniversary, drop the 0, 7, of the Bretton Woods Conference that actually gave birth to the IMF. And it will be the 25th anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall. 25th. Okay. It will also mark the 7th anniversary of the financial market jitters that quickly turned into the greatest global economic calamity since the Great Depression. The crisis still lingers. Yet, optimism is in the air. We've left the deep freeze behind us, and the horizon looks just a bit brighter. So my hope and my wish for 2014 is that after those 7 miserable years, weak and fragile, we have 7 strong years. Now, I don't know whether the G7 will have anything to do with it, or whether it will be the G20. I certainly hope that the IMF will have something to do with it.
All right, so I don't know. In the university that I went to, they never taught me anything about numerology. And I don't know why they can't just drop some zeros of your debt and my debt. I mean, it's just zeros. Why don't you just drop them? And be like, 7. Like, What? We owe that bitch money. Both me and you.
And I don't remember borrowing money from her, so it's so weird. Oh, but brother, I have to wrap it up. I've got to spend some time with Bobby before we put him to bed, and I've got some other chores I need to do before I stream with Krista this evening. We're doing the episode on "Is My Husband a Workspace Salvationist?" So
She's gonna expose you.
she's gonna expose me so good. So you need to come and check that out and find out if I'm a workspace salvationist. Do you want to wrap this up, or do you want to continue on without me?
It's dangerous to leave me ranting on my own. I need some control.
Just keep in mind that literally yesterday we had our copyright strike lifted, so we are in good position to talk about anything.
Okay, then I think I can even go ahead and show my face to the world for one. All right, I just want you guys. I want you to understand why I'm not showing my face, because it's a little bit much for you. So I'll just stick to my avatar. Thank you very much. Oh, he left. Oh, he went backstage. Okay.
No, I was just backstage. But all right, so are you going to continue, or are we cutting this?
I don't know, man. Let's cut it off, because I think we went through a lot for people to think about. I don't know if I am left alone where I'm taking this. So let's just take this break, and I'll see you guys on the next show. Because I don't know, I feel like talking about the Antichrist and the Book of Revelation and all that. So, all right, no, let's not do that.
Well, and one other thing I would point everybody to, there was a recent piece of evidence that came out to show who the number one conspirer with Jeffrey Epstein was. And according to the document, it's clear